This sales coach didn't change their content. They changed the strategy behind it and closed 6 high-ticket clients in 90 days. Today, I'm giving you the exact blueprint we use with him so you can stop treating your YouTube channel like a content library and start turning it into an asset that generates inbound clients for you. If you want to learn more about it, you can also click the link down below. Here's what we will cover. First, the number one mistake that kills most channels. Then I'm going to talk about the 4-part funnel that actually converts into clients. And last but not least, the most important one probably, how to measure real ROI so you know what's working and what is not working. So the number one reason why most businesses fail to attract clients with their channel is because they do not have a defined framework and they just post and hope. But hope isn't a strategy. And therefore, before starting even with the content to start publishing, we get very, very deep into the audience. We go very deep into their offer as well. So we can now define the message and we exactly know what is the audience, their desires, what is their pain. So we can attract with the right messaging, the right people, and they totally feel like we hear them and that we can actually help them solving their problems. The next one is too many businesses just focus on vanity metrics. They focus on likes, subscribes, and views. Nowadays, subscribers, they do not anything besides maybe a little bit of social proof. And yeah, most people mistaken views with growth or revenue, but that's not true because it's very, very important that you need to work on your conversion, because if you're getting a video with 10,000 views but no leads coming out of it, that's worse than a video with 800 views and 40 leads. So therefore we always focus on the conversion for first and not on any vanity metrics like views or some subscribers or anything like that. Revenue is always the number one thing because views don't pay the bills, but clients do. And then the problem is too many people create generic content. Therefore, it's not anything special. You need to understand that you're not competing just like with, hey, my client, is he going to watch or not? That's not what he's thinking, this ideal client. No, he's open his home feed and he's going to see all these other channels. There are even people like the biggest people like Alex Hormozi or Stephen Bartlett from Diary of the CEO. So you always need to have in mind that you're always competing with these people as well. That's why smaller channels have it always a little bit tougher than obviously the bigger ones. Have this in mind and always try to think, okay, how can I stand out? How can I speak directly to my client that he's going to say, hey, this video is directly, it's just constructed towards me. I have to watch it now. It's going to help me moving forward. And then there's the problem about the consistency myth. So too many people just say, hey, stay consistent. And while consistency can help you, but consistency alone won't get you anywhere. So here's some example channels. I don't know them personally. I don't want to put bad light on these people, but as you can see, this channel alone has posted over 400 videos, still at 300 subscribers, but the most important indicator are the views. They are still here, like we're looking not even at 50 views on this channel after posting over 400 videos. So he's just consistently posting 400 videos and there's zero growth. There are channels with 10 videos and already blowing up, having 100,000 views on the channel. Here's just another example. 200 videos, same thing here. He's having one video which is like around the 100, 2 videos actually to around the 100, and the rest is like around 50, 70. So I can keep going, all that just different examples. So consistency is not the only thing. You always need to track why is something working, why is not something working, and then always try to increase one thing after another. The next thing is a little bit pet peeve of ours is like repurpose everywhere. Take your long form, if it's a podcast, whatever, take this clip, post it on Instagram, go on LinkedIn, post on Shorts. The problem is that, first of all, if your long form content is already not good and now you're just chopping it up, now you have 50 different pieces which are all not good either. So why do you think if the long form, which didn't get any attraction, that the short form will get more attraction? Next thing is that short form and long form they behave totally different. What's working on long form does not work on short form. For example, on short form, the first frame, what people see, is so important. And the next thing is that you only have like 3 seconds before people swipe away. And that's why it's so crucial hooking in people already in the first 3 seconds. While on long form, you have a little bit more, let's say a little bit more time. It's around 25 seconds before a person really decides, okay, should I stay? Should I not stay? So it's totally different. On a short, I can't really tell people that we're helping coaches, that we help them already getting 6 high-ticket clients in 90 days. The people wouldn't even care on shorts. Another thing is very important is short form is very, very hard to convert a short form viewer to convince them buy your high ticket offer. Like you're having 30 seconds, 60 seconds to convince someone to buy your coaching program for $3,000. Yeah, that's probably hard. Therefore, long form is there as your best salesperson. They are building with you the deep trust. There's a 7-hour rule that proves from Robert Dunbar that you need to have around 7 hours with a person. Doesn't matter if it's video in real life or a book. After these 7 hours, then they start trusting you. And trust is very, very important, especially talking about high ticket. And yeah, last but not least, too many people, too many businesses, they're ignoring the essentials. Things on YouTube like title and thumbnails are very, very important because if no one's clicking on your video, they will never watch your valuable content. And therefore, it's very important to take in these things serious. But let's now talk about the funnel that our client uses that is attracting so many clients. Just a quick note, he is using a podcast. You can also do this with normal talking heads as well. I'm going to explain why. So I said there are 4 pieces, but there is one bonus piece at the end. So the very first thing is he's having strategic interviews with some guests. The good thing about this is now you can broaden your network. You can reach people who you haven't reached yet. Let's say, for example, in our case, if we would invite Daniel Priestley, we can have now a much bigger audience for our channel of entrepreneurs who might then like our interview with him, our video. They see, okay, they are thoughtful. This is different what I've seen on other videos. Then they're going to check out the channel and see, wow, this content is definitely helping me. This is valuable. I'm going to stick around. So now we borrowed basically the audience of Daniel Priestley. And yeah, this is the great thing. But here's the big problem most people do with podcasts. And it's usually they just give a platform to their guest, and therefore you can see the views. They're always going up and down, because it's so dependent on the guest. And to solve this problem, the most crucial thing to have is having solo episodes, because those build now trust and authority with your audience. Now it's your time to strengthen this relationship with the viewer. Another thing is, as we are businesses, we want to tell people about our offers. Now imagine I'm having this interview with Daniel Priestley, and then I'm going to tell people, hey, okay, if you want more stuff, I also have a cool offer for you. I think Daniel Priestley wouldn't appreciate it that I'm just using his name to trying to sell, to my audience and his audience. And I'm pretty sure this reputation would backfire. So, but with the solo episodes, we are now total in control. I can now direct the people where I want them to, and not just building the brands for the other people. I'm not saying it's bad having these interviews. As I said, it's a very great tool. Also, I can see in our data that usually these solo episodes, especially if it's like a very deep dive, a masterclass, has a high conversion of around 10%. But more about this later. And now comes the next thing, which is very valuable, which is an absolute game changer, which you do not see too often. And I think it's a must-have also for businesses. And it's client case studies. So he's having his mentorship where he's helping people selling better. Now, after his mentorship, he's always inviting a few people of his mastermind, of his group. And this, he can first of all talk about the great results they got. He can always mention, say, hey, by the way, if you want the same results, click the link down below. We having our doors open again for the next mentorship. But there are many more benefits, because this can act now as a warm referral. Because what is the guest going to do? He's going to, cool, I'm going to be on this podcast. I'm getting exposure to this new audience. They're going to share this on their LinkedIn or wherever it is. So now it acts like a warm referral. That's why we see that this channel is through these case study episodes, to these past clients episodes, that this channel is growing much faster regarding subscribers, for example, because then, as I said, it's a warm referral. Another benefit is that now this past client is speaking the language of another future client. Because let's be honest, between me and you as experts, we always fell into the trap to talk too much expert jargon. For example, in my case on YouTube, I'm going to start throwing around words like CTR and average view duration, and you have no clue what I'm talking about. And the last puzzle piece is potential clients. Super underrated because it's helping you. This is like a true game changer regarding conversions. So, for example, there's this agency owner who's investing in different agencies. So he's inviting all these other agency owners, and then he's going to talk about them. Okay, what is your problem? What you're thinking? All these things. And he's getting now every week in front of a new agency owner. And every time there's the potential of that he can maybe invest or scale their business, help them. They're going to think about him the first time. And here again, we start building a relationship before the sale even happened. So, as I said, relationships and trust are one of the most important things to close a deal. And according to an ex-employee of Alex Hormozi, said he did this with his gym podcast and his gym launch. He said the conversion rate was at 80%. Now, there is a bonus tip now for you, and it's, if you would do something like a research episode, means, for example, I said in the beginning, the problem is sometimes as the host, you're always building the reputation of and the brand of the guest. But you can flip the whole script a little bit here. If you're going to do research, let's say, for example, we want to work with realtors. So we're going to ask lots of realtors, hey, can I ask you a few questions? And now I'm gathering all these infos about them. And at the end, I can put content together and saying, okay, I studied some 50 realtors. This is their number one problem. This is what their biggest tricks are to grow on YouTube and to get the most clients through their listings. And now I can make it like a guided, researched podcast. I can also take some of the gold nuggets out of it. I can put them in the clip as well, so people can see I'm actually a research people. I was not just talking about just talked stuff about what JTTP gave me or whatsoever. So now that we're having the funnel in place, we need to take now the next step and get the most value out of these episodes. And we do this by cracking the code of ROI. Because your videos are not just content, it's a business tool. So let's make sure it works like one. So the very big misconception is everyone is saying, okay, views are the only metric that you can track. But that is not true. Especially nowadays, we live in this digital age. We're having now AI. We can track so much more data. We can see where people are coming from. Therefore, we use something like a link tracker. I use, for example, Bitly. It's super simple. And now every video of ours gets a link. Now I can see, okay, episodes 209 got 50 clients. Episode 250 got 10 clients. And now we're not just checking anymore the views, which are just vanity metrics in that example, but we can actually see which video resonates the most with clients, which video makes people, eager to work with us. So now we can see, okay, regarding to this views and this clicks, I can see now the conversion. Okay, for example, as I told you, I can see now that our masterclass on our own channel, for example, had a conversion of 10%, while most of my guest episodes with people in my field and even higher the conversion there was usually below 2-3%. So now I see, okay, maybe I should double down on a masterclass, do it every 3-4 months. And this is exactly what we're teaching our client as well. And so he can now tell people about his great program, which he's going to have. And through this, we can then analyze and see exactly what is working. There might be some videos which get so many views, but it's not attracting clients. So now you need to think, is it worth it creating these videos which are just getting views? Is it good maybe a little bit for exposure, or was it just like, okay, some people were curious, but it didn't lead to anything? And through this, we can then analyze, we can cut content which is not working, we can tweak then CTAs, we can, if we had the same video but it suddenly performed worse, we can tweak then CTAs, we can check is the language the problem, all these things. Without tracking, we're just in the darkness. We just, posting and hoping it might land. Yeah, and this is how it's then quickly how it looks then on Bitly. Super simple. I'm just going to call it, okay, for my trailer, I have here for my landing page, LinkedIn, my landing page, and YouTube landing page. And then I can see, okay, from the trailer, I got 2 people clicking, from LinkedIn, 0 yet. And on YouTube, 2 people clicking. And as you can see here, as I told you, 10% conversion because we got 170 views, 18 clicks, 10% of these people landed on our landing page. And through this, we can make now more decisions because our client is using his content and posting on, for example, Spotify as well. And now we can see he has on Spotify, he has having 20,000 listeners per month, but only 240 leads coming in. That means he has a conversion rate of 1.2%. Now on YouTube, he started with 6,000 views when we started working together, and he got 140 leads. That means he had a 2.3% conversion. That tells me, okay, yes, we have a bigger listenership maybe on Spotify, but Spotify is a way more passive, platform. Because if you think about yourself, when you listen to Spotify to podcasts, usually you're just on the go, you're going to the gym, you walking with the dog, you're doing the dishes, whatever, but it's more passive. YouTube, on the other hand, is more active. That's why it's also harder to get like the people into the door because you're competing with all these people. There are the videos right now on the side and you might think, is this video not interesting enough anymore? Should I click on the next one? That's why YouTube is way more active. And I can see here, okay, we shouldn't make content for Spotify. We should make content more regarding for YouTube because I am having here more results than on Spotify. And just to give you a quick idea how important this conversion is. So if you take in the same viewership of 6,000, we're having here different conversions from 1 till 3, from the Spotify example till 10%. And he would get here 80 leads, 2.3 would be 140 leads. Then if we double this, then we already had 300 leads. All we did was working on the CTA, having clearer steps for people to take, not confusing them, and pointing it out. And if we had a super great video and, he would be one of the best or the biggest people in this field, he can even talk about, 600 leads. So, just imagine we would need 4 times the viewership to reach the 600 leads with the 6,000 viewers. So keep that in mind. Conversion is so critical because it can actually boost maybe your leads the fastest way without even touching your content. Right now you have 2 choices. You can take what you learned today, try to figure it out on your own and hope it works, or you can skip months of trial and error and get expert help from me and my wife right now. If you're serious about turning your channel into a real lead generation asset, then let's talk. Click the link down below and book a call with us. On the call, we're gonna break down exactly what's working, what's not, and how to make your channel a client acquisition system.